Welcome to the Insomnia Project. Sit back, relax, and listen, as we're about to have a conversation about the mundane. One thing that we promise is that our conversation will be less than fascinating so that you, our listener, can just feel free to drift off, relax, and possibly find sleep. Thank you for joining us. I'm your host, Marco Timpano.
And I'm your co-host, Nidhi Khanna.
And of course, you can follow us on Twitter at Listen and Sleep.
Marco, I recently switched jobs and actually moved house, if that's the turn of phrase that one would use. And in both of those, experiences,
Sure.
people were kind enough to give me cards to mark the occasions.
Oh.
You and Amanda gave me a beautiful housewarming gift and a card, and when I left my previous position, I got a beautiful congratulations card with many signatures on it, and there was something quite heartwarming about it. And you don't think about it because in this day and age, people don't really give cards anymore, I find. Right. Do you receive quite a few cards, or are you are a card giver?
I'm not a card giver.
No?
I've become more of a card giver because Amanda's a card giver. But my family has never been card givers. I'm not one of those people who likes to read long cards. And when I say long cards, I don't mind if it's my friend has written a long message inside the card, but the cards that have long poetic messages, those have never been the cards that I gravitate towards. But giving cards, I'm much more the type to just put a tag on the gift, or just write in a tag rather than get a card. But Amanda is definitely someone who likes to give cards for any occasion.
So when you say like the written message, do you mean sort of the canned message, or when people actually write out a written message?
No, the canned message.
Right.
So I like a funny card that has a funny message, or a nice photo, or those cards that have like a cutout in it, or have little beads that move when you open the card, or silly things like that. Those are the cards that I like.
That you like?
And so we've purchased, I don't know if you've ever seen these, at Costco. And I love Costco. I could do a whole podcast on just Costco.
We might have to do that.
Costco has these box sets. So it's a box. You spend about $15 and there's just a plethora of cards in there. And they're sort of, do you remember index boxes? So you'd have a little box that would have like
the index cards.
It's kind of like that. It's a large box, and it has weddings, birthdays, condolences, congratulations. And within those cards, you get about 4 or 5 cards for each section. And they're really nice cards. So they've got, like I said to you, the cutout, or there's like a get well that had like a little pill box and there was little beads in it. So when you opened it, the beads kind of shook around or whatever. And, the wedding ones have like veil material glued on to the image of the bride or whatever it is, right? I'm making it sound cheesy, but they're not. They're actually quite
nice.
Yeah, they're made well. Obviously, they're at Costco, and there's a certain sort of base that they'll accept. So we have this box of cards because my wife likes to give cards, and we can always just pull out the 5 and see which one's more appropriate. I know Amanda does this for the person. It becomes a debate of which card should we give Nidhi, this one or this one. And when we're, sometimes you go to these stores that have
the specialty cards.
More like stores that sell local artisan things. We'll pick up a bunch of cards from there.
I like doing that as well. Yeah, I find that some of those cards can be quite unique and interesting, depending charming on who you want to give something to. I enjoy like a good, well-written card. Like,
Okay.
I think it's very thoughtful, but I'm like you, I don't actually give that many cards. So it's a little bit of a conundrum there. We actually grew up, my cousins in the States used to own a Hallmark store.
Oh.
So we grew up with, so we used to have tons of cards just kind of lying around my house, and we still have quite a few actually leftover cards. So if I need a card, I just go to my mom's place and shop there, really.
Sure.
Because there's some funny ones, there's one for every occasion, actually, really. And cards are odd because it's like you can pay like $7, $8, $9, $10 on a card.
And that's partly why I don't get cards, because I feel like they're very expensive for what they are, and one can make a card much cheaper. And I will often do this, is I'll grab a nice piece of paper, fold it in half, draw a little picture on the front, and then just write, happy whatever the occasion is, unless it's a condolence card, clearly. And then I'll write on it, and then inside I'll write whatever. Or sometimes you can get, have you ever seen these envelopes with a cardstock that is fit for the the cardstock is cut to the same size as the envelope, so it can just get tucked inside?
Yes.
I often have those too, and I'll just write a little note on that.
See, that makes sense to me. That makes sense.
But I'd love to get monogrammed. Or is it monogrammed? No. What is it called when you have stationery that has your...
Monogrammed?
No, it's
personalized?
not. Is it personalized stationery? Yeah, I guess.
With your name on it?
Yeah, or whatever. Yeah,
Your
I'd like
initials?
to get something like that, some sort of. But here's the dilemma. I love the feel of paper, and I think we've talked about this before. But I would want the cardstock, and I would want it to be really high quality. And there's something about that I enjoy. One time, we bought cards from a friend who was selling. You know how sometimes you get people, their kids are selling chocolate, or there's these jewelry clubs that people have where it's like, buy some of my jewelry that I'm representing. Well, this person was selling cards. So Amanda's like, sure, we use cards all the time. And she bought the happiness set or whatever it was. And we got these cards, and they're horrible.
Oh, really? What makes them so horrible?
They have
Quality or the messaging? Or...
not so much they look really. The photo on the front does not look artistic at all. So it's a photo of flowers, but it's like this close-up photo of flowers that seems like it's from 20 years ago.
Got it.
And the font is not anything pretty. It just kind of looks like a font before people had fonts. So it looked like a standard font from 25 years ago.
Got it.
And yeah, even the size of the card seemed a little bit small.
Interesting, because I find sometimes cards, like for me, a good card is just the standard size. You know how sometimes you have like the 5x7 cards,
Yeah.
and they're just a little too awkward.
Sure.
A little too much space. I like the standard cards that you can display for a certain amount of time. And actually, that's a good question. Like, what is a good amount of time for you to display a card?
I would say you have about 2.5 weeks, maybe 3, depending on the occasion.
Yeah, I guess that would be a good amount of time. And if you want to keep it on a more permanent basis, like if there's 1 or 2 cards that are particularly special, you can put them up in your fridge or keep them in a place that's a little less visible to, like maybe not like the downstairs, but maybe you can move it or something like
I
that.
framed a Christmas card that I really liked, and I have it in a frame. Yeah.
Really? Who's it from?
Oh, I don't even know. No, I think I purchased them. I purchased these Christmas cards, and I really liked the image that was on the face of the card, and I framed one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, just because I liked it. I had framed 2, actually. I had framed another card, but I didn't know what I did with the other one. But yeah, you can get an inexpensive frame and frame your cards. That's a great way for a person who has has just moved into an apartment and doesn't have photography or art on their wall. They can get cards that they like and frame them.
That's very, very crafty of you.
Have you ever received or given a giant card?
Yes. Can I actually show you the giant card that I received?
Sure. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go get it.
Nidhi's going to get a giant card. I once purchased a giant card for Amanda because she loves cards so much, and was happy to sort of give it to. Oh no, that I've given a card much larger than that.
Oh really?
Yeah, that is a big
pretty.
card. Oh, I should take a picture. We'll take a picture of this and we'll put it on.
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
This is a card that I was just mentioning that I received from my last workplace before I left.
Oh, it's great.
And it's a congratulations card in a form of an exclamation mark.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like got a stand so it can be displayed, essentially. And so you're saying you've given something bigger than this?
Mm-hmm.
Like
maybe
how?
twice the size. Like,
Really?
Yeah, like this big.
For what?
I think it was a Valentine's Day card I gave to Amanda.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
I knew that they sold them, and I was like, oh, I gotta get one. I've never given a giant card before, and so I found this
There
card,
was your
and I was like,
chance.
that's it. She's gonna get a giant card.
And what was her reaction when she got it?
Well, she was surprised, and then she was like, what are we gonna do with this giant card?
Yeah.
And so it ended up in our under our bed for a long while, and then I don't know what happened to it since.
I have never received that big of a card, but I would like to receive that big of a card.
It was huge.
I can imagine.
Like the size of your fridge door almost, it felt like.
No, it can't be that big.
Not that big, but like big like that. Like maybe 3/4 of the size of your fridge door. Not the whole fridge, but the second part. Anyways, it doesn't really matter how big it was, but what do you do with your cards once you're done with them?
Good question. It depends. Like if they're ones that I really enjoy or there's something special about them, I actually keep them, and I have a book that I put
nice.
all sorts of positive messages and things like that in, and so I'll glue it in there. Otherwise, I just kind of like
Toss them out?
yeah.
I tend to keep all my cards and letters.
Well, if it's just something that's like congratulations. And it's like a blank card. To me, it's kind of like, what's the point?
Right,
Like,
right.
I mean, like it. But if there's an actual message in it or something, then I'll keep it.
Fair. I was trying to make like Christmas tags with old Christmas cards that we received
Oh,
last year.
nice.
That was my sort of intent, and I did do some, but I wanted to make them much nicer than I ended up doing because you know how it is. All of
Yeah.
a sudden you get close to the holidays and you're like, I have no time.
No time. It's true. Look at you trying to be proactive this year. I used to, as a kid, keep all my postcards.
Oh.
Because when I was a kid, people would, when friends of mine would go away, or you would actually receive postcards from people. Nobody does that anymore.
I know.
don't
It
think.
almost seems like postcards are disappearing. You
Yeah.
don't see them. You know, I used to travel to Europe and there was like, at every newsstand, there was like so many postcards you could choose from, but now it's
No.
really diminished. Isn't that funny?
And I used to take all the postcards that I would receive, and I'd actually stick them up on my wall in my room, and it would be this really cool collage of like different places in the world, and I guess it was kind of like places I wanted to travel to.
Sure.
I had an intention even when I was a kid. Look at that, eh? But yeah, no, I rediscovered them when I was moving a few years ago, and it was actually quite neat to like read all these postcards from when I was like 13, 14, 15 that you receive from friends and things like that, and so it was nice.
I just recently found a bunch of postcards we never sent from different places.
To like that you had written in?
No, that Amanda had sort of bought in different states she had visited.
Okay.
So I put a stamp on it and I sent it to my 5-year-old niece,
No
even
way.
though I was sending it from a different place, not where it was purchased. And I was just like, she's just going to get random postcards and she really enjoys them.
Yeah.
Right?
Do you write in them?
Yeah, I write in them and
Nice.
I say, like, look at this place. This is, where your aunt was born or whatever. And I'll
that's
just kind of
nice.
say things like that.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's amazing. And
We live in a culture obsessed with dieting, weight loss, and exercise. And that can make eating disorder behaviors easy to miss. But the reality is, eating disorders are serious mental illnesses that take a major toll on your health and your life. But recovery is possible. Eating disorders are more common than you might think. Chances are you know someone who is struggling with one. Or maybe you're struggling yourself. If you're concerned about an eating disorder in yourself or a loved one, I want to introduce you to Equip. Equip is a fully virtual, evidence-based eating disorder treatment program that helps patients achieve lasting recovery at home. Every Equip patient is matched with a multidisciplinary care team that includes a therapist, dietitian, medical provider, and mentors. And you get a personalized treatment plan that's tailored to your unique goals and challenges. Equip treats patients of all ages and all eating disorder diagnoses. It's covered by insurance, and there's no wait list. If you think that you or a loved one could be struggling with an eating disorder, don't wait to get help. Visit equip.health to learn more. That's equip.health.
Over 90 of the top 100 U.S. accounting firms trust Bill to simplify and secure bill pay. That's proven financial infrastructure built on over $1 trillion of secure payments. Visit Bill.com/proven for a special offer.
Taste the Mediterranean at Whole Foods Market with a vibrant selection that captures the flavors of the region. Shop coastal favorites like responsibly farmed whole bronzini and jumbo white shrimp, and pair them with specialty pastas, robust olive oils, and aromatic sauces directly sourced from the Mediterranean. Want a fast and easy dinner? Grab refreshing Greek salads and tortellini from the prepared foods department. Taste the Mediterranean now at Whole Foods Market.
Speaking of places that you might receive a postcard from, have you ever been to Fremont, California?
No, I haven't.
Well,
where is Fremont, California?
Fremont, California is on the West Coast, obviously, because it's California. It's near, I think, the San Francisco Bay Area.
Okay, so I've been to San Francisco.
It's near Silicon Valley, essentially, or in Silicon Valley. I don't really know. Not familiar with how you describe Silicon Valley. Like, is it considered a place? Is it considered an amalgamation of different cities? Kind of like how we would refer to the GTA in Toronto.
Right.
But I have not, and that's my dog drinking some water in the background.
We all got to be hydrated.
Yeah, exactly. But we do have quite a few listeners from Fremont, California.
Hello, Fremont.
Hello, Fremont. So,
I know that it was named after the American explorer John Charles Fremont, is what I know.
And I believe it is an amalgamation of 5 communities.
Okay.
So I think like in the 1950s, it amalgamated some of the surrounding areas into Fremont. But we wanted to give a bit of a shout out to our Fremont listeners and also talk to you about some interesting facts about Fremont if people are headed that way.
Oh, I would love to know, because that's part of the world that I love is San Francisco. Well, in particular, Northern California.
Really?
San Francisco is gorgeous. Yeah.
I love California. I think as a place to live, it'd be
up there for
me. Yeah. Especially if I was living in the States. Just as you say, the beauty. But even I enjoy Southern California as well, right?
Sure.
I mean, San Diego. I haven't been to LA in a really long time, but yeah.
I've done that beautiful drive from
I really want to do that.
San Francisco to Los Angeles. I think we drove all the way to San Diego, actually.
Oh, I
and
really
it's
want to do that.
A gorgeous drive if you ever get a chance on the Pacific Coast 1.
I've been to Napa and done some wine tasting there. That's fun too. But Fremont has its own silent film theater.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it does.
It's still running?
Apparently. And at one point, Charlie Chaplin actually worked at one of the film companies situated in Niles. Niles was one of the, I guess, communities that formed Fremont when it was first amalgamated.
Okay.
And it has some urban legends. Apparently there's a ghost, what's it called? The White Witch of the Canyon.
Oh, wow.
I know, who is very famous, but I don't really have the background as to why she's famous. So perhaps some of our Fremont listeners can explain some of the urban legends around around Fremont. Are you big into the Olympics and the skaters in the 90s?
Oh, yeah. I prefer the Winter Olympics to the Summer Olympics, so I'm much more well-versed.
Well, you know Christy Yamaguchi?
American figure skater who I think came in first, won Olympics in second, another.
Well, she grew up in Fremont.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there we go. Look
She's
at
a
that.
great skater.
She is a great skater. I wonder if no, they can't. I don't think she's still skating.
No, I think she did a Dancing with the Stars, and she probably trains. I know a lot of the former skaters will then train other skaters.
Oh, right. That makes sense.
So they'll become coaches and things like that, right?
Right. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Especially, I would assume that skating is a tough sport on your body to be doing for many years.
Especially if you're doing jumps and those sort of really strenuous things. And I also know that a lot of former Olympic skaters or athletes also become commentators on that sport because they're experts in the sport. Because if you ever watch figure skating, I never understand how many turns they do. I can see them doing these turns in the air, but I never know if they do a triple or a quad. I can't figure it out. And so it's nice to hear these commentators who know exactly what these skaters are doing say, oh, they just did a triple with a half whatever, and then they slow it on the video and they show you what exactly they did. But I once saw, I was doing a television show. So I was hired to do a little clip that was going to appear in the television show, and I was working with Kurt Browning.
Oh, cool.
So he's a Canadian figure skater, fantastic. And Nidhi, he did a jump in the air and turned, I don't know, I want to say 3 times. And when you see it, and I was very close to when it happened, there's so much height on that. And it's so impressive to see. I mean, it's impressive to see on the television, but when you see it live, it's just incredible. It seems like a feat that doesn't seem real. It seems so incredible. Wow. And I mean, he's one of the best figure skaters out there, so it was impressive to see that. And it was just me and him at an ice rink and the camera people and whatnot.
That's so crazy. Kurt Browning, I did in grade 5, we had to write mini biographies of people we admired. Right. Kurt Browning was really big at that time, and so I did my little mini biography on Kurt Browning. So I was a fan of his, so it was fun to do that.
Sure.
It's really funny that you got to see that. But those are the amount of force that it takes to turn your body that much.
Oh my goodness. Have you ever figure skated?
Yeah, so I had all my badges in figure skating.
Oh, I didn't know this.
Yeah, I can't skate as much anymore because I tore the ligaments in my ankles twice. Wow. And so they're very weak, and so it made it really difficult for me to it didn't heal properly, and it made it very difficult for me to do all those things. So I had to stop figure skating. Right. I couldn't play soccer as well anymore. Even skiing now, sometimes I'll have difficulty positioning my leg because of the way my ankle is. Okay. But yeah, I used to figure skate.
Wow.
I know.
Could you do any of those jumps or turns?
So you know what happened is I was starting to learn the turns. I could do the turns, the jumps. I was starting to learn how to do the jumps when my ankles tore, and so
did you tear them doing the jumps?
No, no, I tore them playing soccer.
Oh, I see.
It wasn't even that I tore them; it was that they never healed properly.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So I kind of had to stop doing it because it would hurt too much. So that was unfortunate, but I really was looking forward to learning how to jump. I know, crazy. Another fun fact, actually, Marco, about Fremont, because I feel like I really need to say this, because I feel like it's controversial.
Oh, my goodness.
And I don't know if it's true, but I'm going to say it anyway. And our Fremont folks can correct me if I'm wrong, but...
tweet us at Listen and Sleep Fremont if we get this wrong. Please. And please blame Nidhi, who does the research on the cities.
So, apparently, the Fremont Main Library...
I love libraries.
Of course you do. Has old articles, and in one of the, I guess, press articles from way back when, it mentions that the McDonald's Quarter Pounder was invented in Fremont in 1972.
Wow, so that burger was born in Fremont. I love the Quarter Pounder.
I support you in your love of it. Okay. I don't know if that's true, though, Marco. I don't know. That seems very controversial.
Well, it had to come from somewhere, so why not Fremont,
I guess
California?
So. I guess so.
Wow.
I know. I I wonder, like, I always find it interesting where famous things are invented.
Okay.
Like, famous, like, sandwiches or, like, I don't know, like, donuts or
Sure.
certain foods or delicacies or I find it fun to find out when
Right,
they
right.
were, or how they were
Oh,
developed.
have you ever been to like places where it was like the birthplace of the blank?
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. I have not been to one that I can recall off the top of my
Okay.
head. Have you?
oh, I've been to a few, but like, you know, often you'll go to these places and whatever that item be, whether it's a drink or a, you know, let's say a famous sandwich or burger or something, and you go there, they're often so expensive because so many people flock to that place to get the ultimate wings or whatnot, that, you know, you're almost in a way disappointed because it's like, oh, it's so expensive to get the place from where it originated and it doesn't measure up in your mind to what you're hoping it will be. That often happens, but I still go there. I would go to Fremont to just have the quarter pounder and see if it was any different than where I have it elsewhere.
That would be, yeah. Well, how many times do you have a quarter pounder?
Oh, I don't think I've had one in maybe 20 years.
What is your fast food of choice, though? Like, what is your, like, late night snack of choice?
Oh, it's always cheese. Some
Yeah.
sort of cheese item will be my go-to, or something sweet. I love sweet things.
I don't know. I kind of go like French fries, like a poutine. For
That's
our
your thing.
listeners that don't know what a poutine is, it's like a Quebec, a Canadian, like a. It comes from like the province of Quebec in Canada, and it's basically French fries, cheese curds, and gravy, and.
And our listeners probably know that you like them because you mention them quite frequently.
Do I
think,
really?
I think we mentioned poutine
Oh, have we?
about
Well,
5
there
or
we
6
go.
times. But hey, listen, if it's what you like,
Then
then there you go.
You gotta love
Well,
what
we
you
hope
like.
you liked this episode of the Insomnia Project. And we hope that you will tweet us from Fremont and correct us if we made any. I want to know more about this white witch, Nidhi, because it sounds pretty fascinating.
I know.
I'm going to assume because it's a white witch, she's a good witch.
Well, apparently she's a hitchhiker. You know what? We need to get some more info from
All
our
right, fair
Fremont
enough.
folks.
So stay tuned for that. Until then, we hope you listened and slept or sleep.
As always, we are produced by Drumcast Productions, and we're recording from Toronto. So until the next time.